Emmerson Mnangagwa's new Minister of Security plans a massive Mushayavanhu-Style party in Gutu featuring Alec Macheso. Family, you still remember the Mushayavanhu-Style party that he did in Gutu. And these people are all coming from the same place, the same village. You remember Mushayavanhu when he did that party and he danced the whole night in Gutu with people getting drunk and him celebrating that he has been appointed to be the Reserve Bank governor. And the people really went around, eating food and drinking all night. And there was quite a lot of lambastation that came from the citizens of Zimbabwe. Mediocrity is the problem. This nepotism of Emmerson Mnangagwa is the problem. You see, these people that don't have the qualities to deserve the positions that they are holding. That's why you find them celebrating and throwing parties. They throw parties because they don't deserve to be in those positions. They are not qualified enough to be there. They've just found themselves in those positions through hook and crook. That is why they are going there to do all those celebrations. What are those parties for? So we are looking at a situation where Zimbabwe is burning under poverty and sickness and underdevelopment. But we have ministers and officials appointed by Mnangagwa having all the monies to throw around parties, huge parties that could take a whole village, you see. And it becomes very disturbing, really, to find such kind of behavior that continues to happen, and it goes unchecked or unchallenged. Mnangagwa has never managed to challenge his people. The Mira Mashingo reports that the Minister of State Security, Lovemore Matuke, is throwing a massive New Year party at his rural home in Mushayavanhu, Gutu, where chiefs are among the key invited guests. The gig is big, and Alec Macheso is likely to grace the occasion. Matuke told the Mirror that he holds the party every year in memory of his father, and everyone is invited. Last year, 2,000 people attended the party, he said. Right, so this is Matuke, and I'm sure that some of the reasons that he's giving there are simply excuses. This is a guy who is known to be very ruthless in the Gutu area. During the time of elections, he did quite a lot of havoc in Gutu, with people being beaten up, people being abducted, and people disappearing. And this guy has done quite a lot of evil. He's known for ruthlessness and evil around the Gutu area. And this is now the guy appointed by Mnangagwa is security minister. And once the appointment comes, then he's throwing a party, just like the homeboy of his, Mushayavanhu, the Reserve Bank governor, also did. It shows that these people have got just the same mentality, this mentality of celebrating undeserved opportunity. Mnangagwa is continued to appoint people that are incompetent, people that have failed to produce results. We have not seen results coming from these people. The people that are in Mnangagwa's administration are all incompetent. We have people like Kirsty Convent, who has never done anything for sporting. Sporting has become even worse under her watch. And in fact, ZANU-PF is now making noise about her wanting to be president of the Olympics. How can she become president of the Olympics, yet she has not achieved anything in Zimbabwe? You still remember the other time we were saying that it is also reported that her husband at times is the one who goes for ministerial meetings, and yet the husband is not a minister. And she will be somewhere at some farm doing some deals. As always, ZANU-PF or Mnangagwa's ministers are always out of office. They are busy they are busy doing deals. You remember just a few days ago, we were talking about Mnangagwa having said to have warned ministers for being absent from offices and from duty. But is it surprising? We can't be surprised, because the behavior of the ministers is just the same behavior that is coming from above. It means Mnangagwa also is sitting and sleeping on duty. That is why his ministers are following suit. They are simply copying what is happening from above. There is nothing happening in the government of Mnangagwa. All it is about making money through corrupt deals and corrupt means, and throwing in parties and squandering these monies, like what we are seeing with Mushayavanhu, and as well as this Matuke. And all these people are coming from Gutu. You still remember that we showed you that almost every minister of Mnangagwa comes from Gutu. And if you ask yourself, what is the reason that we can have all people just coming from one same place? And this is one of the reasons why Mnangagwa and his ministers are becoming unfavorable in ZANU-PF, with many people that are also coming from different regions and other different districts also already are, having changed and beginning to challenge the status quo, and also not supporting the government of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is just shooting himself in the foot by this, this behavior of clansmanship. This nepotism really has destroyed ZANU-PF. It has destroyed the strength of ZANU-PF, because those that are coming from other provinces and districts, they will start to speak against Mnangagwa in those districts, and Mnangagwa won't be knowing it, because they are disgruntled. They are not also on the feeding trough. So they would rather lambast Mnangagwa. They would rather speak against him, and eventually he will lose popularity. That's why Mnangagwa is now beginning to prepare himself by putting ministers or police commissioners who are relatives of Auxilia, because he knows that the people are likely to resist his move for 2030. So he would want to have the police so that he can put an iron fist on anyone who wants to go against the 2030 agenda. So this is what it is, family. It's really quite very sad to see what is happening in Zimbabwe, with the suffering proceeding and going on, and yet we are not seeing any action that is coming from the ministers appointed by Mnangagwa. No minister in Zimbabwe so far who is leading any kind of ministry has seen progressive development happening in their ministries. There is nothing happening there. Nothing. In fact, life is becoming worse. The ministries are collapsing. No projects that are succeeding. Projects are failing to be completed. And nobody cares about this. All they are doing is singing, hero worshipping, and praises of Mnangagwa, as if Mnangagwa has done great things in Zimbabwe. Even to the point of talking about putting statues of Mnangagwa at the State House. Yet Mnangagwa is all oppression, discontentment is all that Mnangagwa has brought in Zimbabwe. So there is no way that anybody can ever speak good about what Mnangagwa has done in our country, as well as all his ministers. They are all just a rotten lot. That must go as quickly as possible. Our prayers is that Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF must bite the dust. Change must come to Zimbabwe. Freedom must come to Zimbabwe. Prayers for Zimbabwe are important. As intercessors, we continue to pray. Zimbabwe is coming. Zimbabwe is going to be free, and God is in it.